About 18 months ago, my daughter, she said, you know so much about tailgating and we have so much fun and all that. She goes, you need to share some of that with people with tips and fun and little things that you do. She goes, well, we could do TikTok. So she set me up. We started kind of practicing in the summer a little bit. And then the first game we went, I put up my flagpole, put my flags up and did a little video on it. 3 hours later, my daughter called me from school and said, Dad, you're going viral. I said, what do you mean I'm going viral? She said, look at your TikTok. And it ended up at 2.5 million views.
Today, I am so excited to welcome on a TikTok fan favorite. Rod Herrenbruck has been tailgating for over 40 years. He says he has made a lot of mistakes on the way and learned some fun tips. So his goal now is to share these tips, recipes, and fun with you. Tailgating is his way to bond with friends and family. And now he also shares those tips and laughs with almost 55,000 people on TikTok each day. Rod, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
Rachel, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate you reaching out. It's a pleasure.
Yes. So tell me about your tailgating background. How did this start, and have you always been kind of the leader of your tailgate crew?
Well, it started from the Kansas City version in the 90s. My wife and I lived there, and we tailgated with the 24 people we started back in the day, and it's dwindled down to where we really only two of the original ones are there. Every now and then there'll be a cameo appearance, but that's what started it, and fell in love with the Chiefs. Still love Kansas City. There's nothing better than Arrowhead Stadium, and I probably started, though, back, I'm an old man. I called the grandpa of TikTok. I started back in the 70s. I grew up in Indiana, and I used to go with my family. I went to 23 Indy 500s in a row, and we used to tailgate in the for the Indy 500. And then when I was in college and stuff, we were bold enough to go into the infield and tailgate, and that was quite the experience, trust me.
I'm sure it was. So you have experienced tailgating in all kinds of conditions, both weather-wise and probably a number of beers consumed wise, if you've done the infield.
Yeah.
Well, we'll forgive you for migrating to St. Louis. We're still going to claim you as one of our own since you're a Chiefs season ticket holder. So how did you get into making videos about tailgating? Who got you to do it, and kind of what was the inspiration behind that?
About 18 months ago, my daughter, who just graduated college and is starting a job down in Florida this upcoming week, but she came to me and she said, Dad, you know so much about tailgating and we have so much fun and all that. She goes, you need to share some of that with people with tips and fun and little things that you do. I said, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I said, how do I do that? She goes, well, we could do TikToks. And I said, what's a TikTok? So she set me up. We started kind of practicing in the summer a little bit. I really kind of enjoyed it. And then the first game we went, I put up my flagpole, which I do every tailgate, and put my flags up and did a little video on it. And I didn't post it originally on the Sunday. I waited till Tuesday, and I posted it Tuesday morning. And about 3 hours later, my daughter called me from school and said, Dad, you're going viral. I said, what do you mean I'm going viral? She said, look at your TikTok. And it ended up at 2.5 million views. So that's the way I started. And then I did a tailgate on a TV thing in how to put up a TV at your tailgate using Dish Network and all that. And that got on Barstool Sports. And Barstool Sports called me the Michael Jordan of tailgating. So that kind of kicked it off too. And then next thing I knew, I was getting contacted by Rachel Ray, and I did a deal for Rachel Ray on a couple tips for tailgating. And a couple of the news channels in Kansas City have had little stuff on me too. But it's so much fun. I mean, as my daughter says all the time, Dad, it's not about football. It's about family and friends. And that's kind of the way we view it.
Absolutely. Yeah. How does your family feel having a celebrity in the house now?
Well, it's kind of funny because I had done a lot of work in years past on QVC, so they'd seen me on TV before selling products. But this kind of started out. We didn't know what it was going to be, but now everybody participates. We've always participated in the tailgates, picking the menus, the food, what drink we're going to have, all that kind of stuff. Because we drive over the night before and stay in a hotel in Independence. But what's funny is we started going out and as this gained in popularity, we were down in Disney World on vacation and my wife went over to ask one of the attendants in the Magic Kingdom, some directions and all that. And he turned to her and he goes, "Is that tailgating with Rod?" And she was like, "Yeah." And yeah, it's kind of fun. I try and answer every comment. I try and interact with people. People will come to our tailgate and say hello and all that. And it's fantastic. I don't really think of me as a celebrity, and I'm certainly not any stretch of the imagination. But it is nice that people know me and feel comfortable enough with me to come up and say hello, because that's what I really enjoy.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you have to make larger quantities of food at your tailgates because you end up with random people stopping by, or how do we handle all these
people stuff? We always overcook anyway, But yeah, it's changed things a little bit. But the Kansas City fans, even the visiting fans, I mean, Buffalo Bills fans and I have a special relationship. The Cincinnati Bengals have become something. It's really neat to see different fans come in.
And how special is it that the time that TikTok is a thing is also the time that the Chiefs have become this national powerhouse after you've seen many, many years of bad Chiefs teams. And now you get to do this while they're good. And it's just the synergy is beautiful, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I started it, we were pretty good, in that, but you don't know. I mean, and we suffered through a lot of lean years, a lot of disappointments, never thought we'd win a playoff game. Then we drafted that guy, Patrick Mahomes, and I mean, there's nothing like him. I mean, I've been to 5 straight division championship games. It's kind of funny. I always used to hate the New England Patriots because they won so much, and we've kind of become the New England Patriots. It's definitely helped me that we're good, no question about it.
Do you go to every game?
I go to every home game.
Every home game? Okay, so you were at the Christmas Eve game this year when it was freezing cold.
Yeah.
It was so cold, our beers were freezing and then foaming out the top. What were your tricks and tips to deal with that kind of cold when you're trying to tailgate and enjoy some beverages?
Well, my big tip is, take in a cardboard box to put under your feet. I mean, so that your feet aren't on the concrete. And then we also try and do that around our tailgate. That's the most important thing. The other thing is to make sure you take in hand warmers and that. I mean, it can be brutal. Cover up your face. And I said, that's kind of what Fireball's made for.
That's right. Well, we were we can't even drink to warm ourselves up because our drinks are freezing. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
Also, I tried to take cardboard into that game and they took it away from me. So, fun fact, you have to write something on it and pretend.
Right, as I say, right, yeah. If you look at one of my tips, you have to write it like it's a sign.
That TikTok did not show up in my feed, and I'm mad at TikTok for that now.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest surprise for you throughout this journey of finding your kind of special corner of the internet and tailgating fame?
First, there's 2 things. First of all, for an old guy that still likes to be involved in things and all that, the whole social media thing for advertising, companies, information, it's phenomenal. I find myself following and viewing people all the time, getting recipes and all that kind of stuff from people. That part of it's phenomenal. But really, for the most part, just how nice people are. You get the really bad comments, the jerk thing. I mean, what I don't understand is, okay, I grew up in Indiana, all right? And the only team we had were the St. Louis Cardinals, okay? So I'm a St. Louis Cardinal fan, and I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I wasn't a Rams fan, but people just crucify me because I'm not a Kansas City Royals fan. I mean, I like the Royals. I don't not like them, but that's just not my team. I grew up in where that was my team, you know? So I think that's kind of funny, but, there's a lot of really nice people out there.
Well, you are excused for that, but some people are not. And that's the people that grew up in Kansas City and rooted for the Cardinals because they were good and the Royals were bad. They are not excused. And that is why you get so much hate for that.
Yeah.
So you just have
Well,
to be
and I
clear.
mean,
This goes back to childhood.
the thing of it is the only time we played in the World Series, the Royals won. It's a great rivalry, My kids go to Mizzou. You got the whole KU, you got the K-State. I mean, I'm all about just being a fan. I mean, I like all sports. I'm going to tailgate around the country for college games because my kids have all graduated. I'm going to go to K-State on, I think, September 23rd. I'm going down to LSU. I'm going to Florida State. Got invited to the Iron Bowl. I'm going to Arkansas. I just like to meet people and have fun. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, it's kind of funny though, because a lot of people, to your point, they do think that I did all this because the Chiefs are good and I'm a bandwagon fan.
Mm-hmm. I've been accused of that myself, and I'm like, no. You
Yeah.
did not watch every game of the 2012 Chiefs. Leave me alone. That was a special kind of torture.
So, Rachel,
So
how long are you from Kansas City?
I grew up here, yep, and I'm a millennial, so I grew up with really bad Chiefs and really bad Royals. It's really fun
Yeah.
times. The 2000s were rough in Kansas City for sports.
The Royals Stadium is beautiful. I mean, it really is a neat stadium. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to come over there for a game. I found out that Boulevard is the official beer of the Kansas City Chiefs, and I love Boulevard beer. So I may be becoming a little bit of the Royals will be my American League team. How's that? And the Cardinals can be my National League team.
We'll take it. We'll take any butt in a seat we can get at this point, and any ounce of support we can get. So has this tailgating thing become your full-time gig, or do you have a day job too? How do you balance all of it?
It's not a full-time gig. It's pleasure. It's fun. I make dog treats for a living, and I've made dog treats and
Really?
food for almost 30 years. Yep.
Oh
And
my
that's where I
gosh.
worked
Okay,
as in
well,
Kansas City. I made Thompson's
okay.
Pasta Plus dog food. It was a dog food that had pasta in it. Our plant was right down by Kemper Arena. It's still there. It's called KC Treat now. But we were the official dog food of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Because they need an official dog food, obviously.
Well, and that's how I got tickets. That's how, because the tickets, you couldn't get tickets back in those days. So I had to become the official dog food so I could get tickets. But I made greenies. I made all kinds of treats and I'm working right now with a company called Rush Direct. They make ultra chewy double bones. They sell them in Target, and we do Walmart and all that too. But yeah, that's what I do for a living.
So you're just out here feeding everyone, all kinds of critters and people alike.
Yeah, I try.
And that was one of my questions for you is, are you the primary chef in your home as well, or is it only tailgating? Do you like all kinds of cooking?
Well, I'm not necessarily an indoor cooker. I'm an outdoor cooker. So my wife handles most of the indoor stuff and all that. She's phenomenal with dips and sides and all that kind of stuff too for the tailgates. But inside, she makes a wicked chili and chicken noodle soup too. But the grilling I pretty much do, but we also do it pretty much every day of the year, year round, But I'm not an avid recipe cook guy. The only thing that my daughter and I have made that we're really proud of is we duplicated my mom's lasagna recipe because we had to make it up. And it's some of the best lasagna you've ever had, if I do say so. And that's probably the only thing I've ever really made well
Yeah.
in the kitchen.
That's a good thing to have, though. Everyone loves lasagna.
Yeah.
What has been the most fun connection you've made on social media? Like, has a celebrity commented on one of your videos that really got you excited, or anyone reached out or anything like that jumps out at you?
Well, I mean, some of the folks on TikTok, you got Gator on there. My wife actually worked for Cooking with Daryl. So I have some friends out there, but probably the fun thing for me is I got to meet Mitchell Schwartz through a Coca-Cola deal. When I created a Coca-Cola smash burger, which is excellent, by the way. I did something with Raising Cane's, and I got to come right after the Super Bowl and do a video with Juju Schuster. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I
Sounds
mean,
like you need
and
to.
I'm going to do something this fall. They're going to have a tailgating program. Boulevard Beer is with Creed Humphrey. So I'm really excited about that because he's actually one of my favorite players.
He's so fun. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. But I think that you need to become the Chiefs' official tailgating master or something. We got to have a title for you with the Chiefs. There's a way. I think we.
Well,
Can
I mean, what's funny about it is they have not reached out to me at all, at all. I went to the draft, and did the thing up in walked around on that, and it was awesome. I mean, it was great. And then I met somebody that was a Kansas City Chiefs influencer, really nice young lady and all that, and she's like, I can't believe you're not affiliated or associated at all with the Chiefs. I'm like, nope. I said, and it doesn't bite. I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm doing this for my family and friends and all that. I mean, I'm going to continue to every time the Chiefs win, I jump in water or pour a bucket on my head or do something. And I've been doing that even before I did TikToks. And but it is what it is. I mean, I just hope people enjoy my videos, learn something every now and then, and come by and say hello to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you have a vision for like ways you want this to grow and expand or evolve over the years, or are you pretty content with where it's at?
I want it to continue to grow. I don't quite understand the algorithms, and that's more of a, I don't know, just to say I did it kind of thing. Maybe it's not really ego because I don't really have an ego, but maybe it's being a little, how do these people have all these followers? But as long as I put out good content and I like what I'm doing, I'm going to try and endorse or mention products that I use and like. So
Yeah, absolutely. What's a good for someone that is like maybe a rookie tailgater? This is their first year. They got their grill. They're ready to go. What's like the first thing you recommend people try if they're trying to run a tailgate the first time?
you mean as far as food or just,
Recipe, yeah, a food, yeah, a recipe.
well, I mean, you got to start with a brat or a burger. And let's just take the burger, all right? So what I do is I have a little different burger. Everybody's just something different, but there's this sauce called Andrea's steak sauce. They don't pay me. They don't do anything. I've been using it forever. And it's called a steak sauce, but it's really a marinade. It's made with turnips and all that. So I'll get a lean beef or a lean turkey, and I'll mix in about a cup of that into the beef and all that, and then I'll mesh it all together, okay? Let it sit overnight, and then I use lemon pepper. I love lemon pepper on my burgers. But what this marinade does, it keeps these lean burgers and stuff juicy and moist, and it's one of the best burgers ever. I mean,
That sounds delicious. I am
yeah.
hungry and I'm ready. Football season can't get here soon enough.
Well, you better
So
be coming by my tailgate.
I absolutely will. You better believe it. I sure will.
Yeah.
So this is a question I ask everyone that comes on the show, which I'll be interested to hear your answer since you don't live here anymore. But what's a good meal you've had in Kansas City recently or whenever? Like you ordered a dish at a certain restaurant, it really just knocked your socks off.
Well, I mean, I'm going to give you my go-tos, okay? I mean,
Okay.
when I lived there, it was Jack Stack, but it's now Q39. I absolutely love Q39. Absolutely love Ponax for Mexican. Some of the best Mexican ever, okay? And we go a lot to, because we stay over on the independent side over there. But I also, matter of fact, I was just over there yesterday in Kansas City because my mom lives there in a senior living place. And I took her Minsky's Pizza. Love Minsky's Pizza. And the last one that I really enjoy too is I like Johnny's Sports Bar.
Their
So,
pizza's really good. It's underrated, I think. People don't realize how good it is.
well, not just for pizza, but just in overall, I like the TVs and all that, and
I'm with
those are my kind of go-tos in Kansas City. I mean, Kansas City is a great city for eating out, restaurants. I mean, I love it. I mean, when you look at the Power and Light, then you look at the Plaza area, then even up north, there's fabulous areas up by the National Golf Course and all that, Park Hill or whatever it's called, up there. And then obviously when I lived there, I lived down in Overland Park, and it's completely different now. I mean, it's phenomenal. So
yeah,
it's a neat place. I also was over there at the Pet Food Forum the first week of May, and I flew instead of drove. So I got to go to your fancy new airport, and boy, is it something cool.
Yeah, it is. Hey, we have a one up on St. Louis at that airport. I'm gonna claim that. Okay.
Oh, you do. You do definitely. You do definitely.
Awesome. Well, Rod, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And for anyone that has not seen your videos, where can they find you online to check out Tailgating Tips with Rod?
I'm at Tailgating with Rod. That's what I am. Tailgating with Rod, ROD.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, thank you for your time. And guys, we'll see you next time.
Well, wait just a second. We got to end it with my tagline. Are you ready? On the count of 3.
Okay.
You know it?
Okay. Ready?
1,
yeah, I do.
2, 3. Tailgate on.
Tailgate on. Yes, I feel so accomplished now. Thank you, Rod. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye.
Right.
Thanks so much for joining us today. If we haven't already, let's connect. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Rach the Realtor KC. We're back right here every Thursday morning with a new guest on Connecting KC. See you next time.